Hello and welcome to Easter 6 in our series New Life and Hope Stories from Israel and Palestine. My name is Brenna Nickel. I was with you for the second week of Easter, and I'm glad to be with you again. As a reminder, I serve in ministry in Estevan and North Portal, Saskatchewan for St. Paul's International Charge. And today I am glad to be sharing the words of Psalm 66, verses 8 through 20 with you, as well as some information about the Parents Circle, which is an organization I learned about while I was traveling in Israel, Palestine, and just one of the best ones, I think, for offering hope and peace into this conflicted situation. So I'm excited to talk a bit about them today. We'll begin with the words from the psalm. Bless our God, O peoples. Let the sound of his praise be heard, who has kept us among the living and has not let our feet slip. For you, O God, have tested us. You have tried us as silver is tried. You brought us into the net. You laid burdens on our backs. You let people ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, yet you have brought us out to a spacious place. I will come into your house with burnt offerings. I will pay you my vows, those that my lips uttered and my mouth promised when I was in trouble. I will offer to you burnt offerings of fatlings, with the smoke of the sacrifice of rams. I will make an offering of bulls and goats. Come and hear, all you who fear God, and I will tell what he has done for me. I cried aloud to him, and he was extolled with my tongue. If I had cherished iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. But truly God has listened. He has given heed to the words of my prayer. Blessed be God, because he has not rejected my prayer or removed his steadfast love from me. In at least two places, this psalm offers hope of resurrection. Maybe not the physical or eternal resurrection we often think of during this time of year, but resurrection or new life within the present day, here and now. The two places in the psalm I see this, and maybe you could interpret other places as well, are when the psalmist says that God has kept us among the living. This is something we might say after coming out of a time of grief or some other time of difficulty, that we've come back to the land of the living. And also when the psalmist says we have been brought through fire and flood to somewhere spacious, this sort of being a metaphor for a place where we can grow and thrive, a safe place. As we hear about the Parent Circle, I invite you to consider where you have encountered this sort of new hope or resurrection in your life, and maybe too how we can see that new hope in the justice work we do as a church together. So now I just want to tell you a bit about the Parent Circle, which is a group in Israel, Palestine, that I think embraces some of this idea of new life and hope in the here and now. The Parent Circle was created in 1995 and seeks to create reconciliation between Palestinians and Israelis through story sharing and education. All the people who share their stories are either Palestinian or Israeli, and all have lost a child or other loved one sometime in this ongoing conflict. And in a powerful and simple program, members of the group go out 2 by 2, usually always an Israeli and a Palestinian together, to share their stories with school groups, religious groups, etc., And they tell why they're committed to peace and reconciliation over revenge. I would encourage you to check out the Parent Circle website to read some of the stories and testimonies that are found there. And there are also some videos that show their work in action. And I'm going to share just a brief video with you as well that shows you what their work is all about, what it might look like if you were to go to one of their story sharing sessions. And I also just wanted to share their mission statement with you here. I won't read the whole thing, but just highlight this third point, that they want to influence the public and the political decision makers to choose dialogue and the path of peace over violence and war in order to achieve a just settlement based on empathy and understanding. They just do such great and powerful work. And now I'll share with you this video of one of the members of the Parent Circle, an Israeli man. I think it's the one I heard. He's the one that my group heard from as well while we were there. And so he's lost a loved one some time ago now, but talks about his work with the Parent Circle.
I was 47 years old at the time. It was the first time ever in my life I met Palestinians as human beings. I saw the Palestinian bereaved families coming down from the buses, coming towards me, shaking my hand for peace, hugging me, crying with me, and I was completely shocked. I saw people who are exactly the same as I am, who suffer exactly like I suffer. I remember seeing an old Arab lady coming down from the bus. She wore a long black dress, and she had a picture of a 6-year-old kid on her chest. I'm not a religious person. I have no way of explaining what happened to me back then, 12 years ago. All I can tell you is that from that moment on until today, I devote my life to go everywhere possible, to talk to anyone possible, to convey this very basic and very simple message, which says we are not doomed. This is not a destiny to keep on killing each other in this Holy Land of ours forever. We can change it. We can break once and for all this endless cycle of violence and revenge and retaliation, and the only way to do it is simply by talking to one another, because it will not stop until we talk. And I believe deeply that if you are able to listen to the pain of the other, you can expect the other to listen to your pain, and then only then together start this very long journey towards peace and reconciliation. This is a very long road. This is a very bumpy road, no shortcuts. But this is the only way possible, because the other way leads to nowhere. Because the price of the other way is too heavy. So this is what we're doing. Siham here, my sister, and myself, and these 500 families, members of this unique organization. We bang our heads against this very high wall of hatred and fear that divide our two nations today, and we put cracks in this wall. We put cracks of hope in this wall until we will put it down, because there is no other alternative. This is the only way to move forward. And we have an enormous ally on our side, which is the power of pain. And you must understand that the power of pain is very much similar to the nuclear energy. And like the nuclear energy, you can use it in order to bring darkness and destruction to humankind. And you can use the same energy to bring light and warmth and hope to people. So, together, we say to everyone, to the Palestinians, to the Israelis, in fact to the whole world, that our blood is exactly the same color, that our pain is exactly the same pain, and our tears are just as bitter. And if we who paid the highest price possible, if we can talk to one another, then anyone can, anyone should. Thank you very much.
As we close, I just want to thank you again for your participation in this project, and I'll leave you with some discussion questions or reflection questions if you're on your own to consider. And I wish you a happy rest of your Easter season. Thanks.